likewise it won't be true, because for example, if I'm going to say minus 1 power, let's say minus 4. So basically what does it mean? It means 1 divided by minus 1 power 4, and minus 1 power 4 is equal to 1. So basically that is going to be 1. So if a power be equal to 1, there are going to be three inferences. The first one, if power is 0, then base can't be 0. If base is 1, then power can be any real number. If base is minus 1, then power has to be even. So there are going to be three inferences. Now, in the last class, what we have done, if we have three conditions on D, if D is negative, what does it mean? Roots are imaginary and conjugate, right? Roots are imaginary and conjugate. Now, if D is equal to 0, what does it mean? If D is 0, it means roots are real and equal. That we have already discussed in detail in the last class. Roots are equal and real. So if anyone has any doubt in the condition of D or what is D, you can just look at the previous session. Now, if D is positive, and now in D is positive, there are two conditions. One is D is a perfect square, second D is not a perfect square. So in this case, roots are real and distinct. Real and distinct. So basically, the roots are going to be real and distinct. Now, in case of imaginary, if D is not a perfect square, D is not a perfect square, then roots are irrational and conjugate. Now, what is the meaning of conjugate? The meaning of conjugate is, so if I have one root as 1 plus root 2, then second root is going to 1 minus root 2. Right, so this is something we have already seen in the previous session. Now, let's start few questions and see what we can do. Now, the first question, it says that suppose k is any integer such that the equation has no real roots. So basically, what is the condition of no real root? So condition of no real root is D is less than 0. It means B square minus 4AC should be less than 0, right? It means K square minus 4A is 2, C is 5 should be less than 0. So from here, I can say that K square should be lying between, should be less than 40, right? Now, from here, what I can conclude, and it says that K is an integer, right? So it means K should be less than 6, as well as K should be greater than minus 6. So if less than equal to, right? Now, what happens if you give K value of 7? So this 7 square is definitely greater than 40. If you give K a value of minus 7, again, minus 7 square is going to be 40, greater than 40. So any value that's less than minus 7 will not be acceptable. Any value that's greater than 7 will not be acceptable. So the range of K comes out to be this, if this is written. Now, what is the second statement? It says that x square minus x square plus k minus 5 times x plus 1 has two distinct real roots. So in this case, D can't be equal to 0. D should be greater than 0. Because if D is 0, then there is only one root. Both roots are equal. But here it says distinct roots. So D should be greater than 0. So B square, what is B square? That is k minus 5 whole square, right? Minus 4, A is 1, C is 1, and that's greater than 0, right? So from here, I can say that K minus 5 should be whole square should be greater than 4. Greater than 4 means K minus 5 should be greater than 2. Right, because 2 square is 4, so it can be 3, it can be so 3 square, it can be 3 square, it can be 4 square, it can be 5 square, it can be 6 square, but it can't be 1 square, it can't be 0 square, it can't be minus 1 square, as well as K minus 5 should be less than minus 2. Okay. So from here, I can say that k should be greater than how much? 7. Sorry, k should be greater than 7. And from here, I can say k should be less than 3. Okay. Now, this range says, I am drawing all the points. So basically, this is -6. This is 6. This is 3. This is 7. Right. So basically, my first statement says that this is the possible range of k. My second statement says either this is possible or this is possible. So basically, there are two possible ranges, right? Now, if I want the value of k, then I need the common range. Now, what is the common range? That is -6. -6 is included. So I'm going to get -6, then I'm going to get -5, then I'm going to get -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So how many numbers I'm going to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So possible values of k are going to be 9. So 9 x can take, k can take total of 9 distinct integral values. I hope everyone understood this question, that what was the approach of this one. Now, if anyone has any doubt, can just drop a message in the chat box. I'll take that out, or I'm going to move on to the next question. Now, let's move on to the next question. Now, this is the question. Now, what does it say? Now, it says it is something, something, something is given, and question says how many distinct real roots of this equation are possible, right? So, what I'm going to do, I am going to assume that x plus 1 upon x is equal to y. I'm going to plug y over here. So, y square minus 3y plus 2, and that's equal to 0. So, it says y minus 1 into y minus 2, and that's equal to 0. So from here, I can say y is equal to either 1 or y equal to 2. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to plug in. So x plus 1 upon x equal to 1. Okay. So it is going to be x square plus 1, and that's equal to x. So x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. Now I need to find out number of distinct real roots. Okay, so to calculate the real roots, what you are supposed to do, calculate d. So b square, so value of b is -1, right? So b square is 1, minus 4, a is 1, c is 1. Now this is negative. So if y equal to 1, there is going to be no real root. So if y equal to 1, then number of real roots are 0. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm instead of 1, I'm going to plug in 2. So x plus 1 upon x equal to 2. So from here, I'm going to get x square plus 1, that is equal to 2x. So from here, I'm going to get x square minus 2x plus 1. Now, if you can see, you can directly see that it is x minus 1 whole square. So how many roots I'm going to get from here? There we are going to get only one root. So this gives me only one root. So the number of distinct real roots are going to be 0 roots plus 1 roots. So there are answer of this question is going to be 1. So number of distinct real roots are going to be 1. Now, let's move on to the next question. Now, this is a question that we have discussed in the start. This is a question in the format of a power b equal to 1, right? And so what I'm going to get, I'm going to get 3 inferences. What is the first inference? The first inference is going to be power is 0. If power is 0, then base shouldn't be 0. Okay, so I'm going to write all the inferences. So if base is 1, then power can be any real number, right? Sorry, it belongs to real number. Second is if power is 0, then base can't be equal to 1, right? Base can't be equal to 0, right? Now, third inference is if base is -1, then power should be even, right? So even means it can be +2, -2, minus +2, -2, +4, -4, and so on, anything. Okay. So I'm starting with the first one. that base should be equal to 1. Okay, so x square minus 7x plus 11, and that's equal to 1. So from here I am going to get x square minus 7x plus 10, and that's equal to 0. So now I'm going to factorize. I'm going to get x minus 2 into x minus 5, and that's equal to 0. So from here I'm going to get x is equal to either 2 or 5. Okay, so I'm going to get two values. Okay. So x is either 2 or 5. Both values are possible. Okay. Now, if power is 0, so what is power? Power is 0. So I am going to get x square minus 13x plus 42, and that's equal to 0. So from here, I can say that x minus 7 into x minus 6, and that's equal to 0. So value of x comes out to be either 6 or 7. So this is either 6 or 7, right? So I got 4 values so far. Now I am going to put a is equal to minus 1. So I am going to put x square minus 7x plus 11, and that's equal to minus 1. So from here I am going to get x square minus 7x plus 12, and that's equal to 0. So this gives me x minus 3 into x minus 4, and that's equal to 0. So x is equal to either 3 or 4. Now, in this, we have a condition that power should be even. It means if I put x equal to 3, so 3 square is odd, then 13 into 3 is odd, odd minus odd is even, plus 42 even. So basically my power is going to be even. It means 3 is an acceptable value. So that's when you are solving this, always check with this condition. Right, if I put x equal to 4, so 4 square is even, 13 into x is even, 42 is even plus even is going to be even. So basically 4 also satisfies all the conditions. It means number of possible roots are going to be 6. And now you might think that I got one quadratic equation, I got one quadratic equation, I got one quadratic equation. Why can't I write the answer directly as 6? Why I need to solve all the quadratic equations? Now the problem over here is a lot of times what happens that these quadratic equation has one common root, and whenever if you are not solving, then what happens, you might count that common root twice because it is happening once over here, once over here. So basically always remember, whenever you are going to solve this type of question, always actually calculate the root. Because if you are not calculating the root and you are directly thinking that this is a quadratic equation, it will have two roots, you calculated d, okay, it has two roots, again this has two roots, so there are going to be four roots. No, not possible. Always remember, always check, always calculate the roots and see whether there is some overlapping or not. Now let's move on to the next question, this one. So it says, suppose one of the roots is this, and ABC are rational numbers, and it says that B equal to CQ. Okay, then what is the value of mod A? Okay, so what is going to happen? So one of the roots is 2 plus root 3. Okay, so I know that roots are always conjugate. If roots are irrational, then roots will be conjugate. So if let's say this root is alpha, so alpha is equal to 2 plus root 3, then second root, that is beta, beta is equal to 2 minus root 3, because roots are conjugate. So whenever you see irrational roots, always remember that roots are always going to be conjugate if ABC are rational numbers. Okay, now what is sum of roots? That is alpha plus beta, that is equal to minus b upon a. So if I add both the numbers, I am going to get 4. Okay, so from here what I'm going to get, minus b upon a is equal to 4. So I can say that b is equal to minus 4a. That is my first statement I'm getting. Okay, now I'm talking about product of roots, that is alpha into beta. Now what is alpha into beta? That is c upon a. Then what is alpha into beta? Means if I multiply, so this is in the format of a plus b, this is in the format of a minus b. So product of roots is going to be a square minus b square. So that comes out to be 2 square minus root 3 square. So that comes out to be 1. That is, so from here I am going to say that C is equal to A. Okay. Now this is a statement that is given to us. Okay. So B is equal to C cube. Now what is B? That is a minus 4A. Okay. What is equal to C cube? C cube is equal to A cube. Okay, did I make a mistake over here? Sum of roots, so minus b upon a, so b is equal to minus 4a. Oh, it's actually minus b, so it should be plus b over here. So it is plus b, so it is going to be 4a. Okay, so it is 4a. Now I can cancel out by a, so I can say that a square equal to 4. So from here I can directly say that a is equal to mod a is equal to 2. So my answer of this question is going to be option D, that is 2. Now what I am going to do, so I hope everyone understood this question, that what is the approach. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. What does it says? It is a similar question, that if 3 plus 2 root 2 is a root of this equation, okay, 4 plus 2 root 3 is a root of another equation. And question is talking about what is the value of b upon n plus c minus 2b upon n. Okay, so let's see. So I have first equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c, and that's equal to 0. Let's say it has the roots of alpha and beta. So alpha is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2. Then beta is equal to 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay. And in the second scenario, one root is going to be, so I'm going to calculate what is the sum of roots, that is minus b upon a, and that is going to be 6. Okay. What is product of roots? C upon a, and that is equal to what? That is equal to, that is, I'm going to multiply, so 9 minus 8, and that's going to be 1. Okay. So this is what I'm going to have. Okay, so from here I can say that b is equal to minus 6a and c is equal to a. So I got this. Okay, if I'm talking about the second equation, now what is second equation? That is ay square plus my plus n, and that's equal to 0. Let's say it has a root of gamma, and gamma is 4 plus 2 root 3. So basically second root is going to be delta, and delta should be 4 minus 2 root 3. What is sum of roots? That is minus an m upon a. So that is equal to 8. So m comes out to be uh, uh, minus 8a. If I'm talking about product of roots, that is n upon a, and that comes out to be b square minus 4ac. So 4 square minus 12. So 4 square, this is a, this is the format of a plus b, this is in the format of a minus b. So if I multiply both the numbers, I'm going to get a square minus b square, right? So a square is 16 and b square is 2 root 3 whole square, that is 12. So that comes out to be 4. So from here I can conclude that n is equal to 4a. Now if you see, I got all the values in terms of a. So what you can do, if you want, you can assume value of a as 1, or you can directly use it. So basically b upon m. So b upon m. So b is minus 6a, m is minus 8a. So this is what we got. Okay. Then c minus 2b. So c is a, minus 2b means minus of 12b. So minus minus is going to be plus. So plus 12a upon n is what? 4a. Okay, so minus minus cancels out, this is 3 and this is 4. So a cancels out, so a is doesn't have any use. So I'm going to get 3 upon 4 plus 13 upon 4. So this comes out to be 16 upon 4. So this value comes out to be 16 upon 4 is 4. That's option B. So whenever you see this kind of question and both the equation has coefficient of x and y is common. So you can assume the value of a is 1. Fact, Baba, we are going to talk about that later on once we are done with the questions. Right. Now let's move on to the next question. This one. So let a and b be natural numbers, and it is given to us. Now, what happens when people look at this question? They say that it is a question of quadratic equation, right? In reality, it's not a question of quadratic equation. It is a question of extreme basic logic. Now, how it is? So, if you see, we got this a. I'm talking about first equation, that is a plus b plus 1, right? And that's equal to 14. Okay. Now the second one is going to be what? I'm going to take b common. I'm going to get a plus b plus 1, right? And that is equal to 28. Right. So what I can do, I can divide second equation by first equation. So this is my second equation. I can take it as first equation. So this and this is going to be cancelled out. So I'm going to get b upon a, and that is equal to 28 upon 14, and that's equal to 2. So b is equal to 2a. Right. So what I can do, I can simply just plug in the value. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug in the value over here. So a square plus ab. So a into b. So a into 2a, that is 2a square plus a, and that's equal to 14. So I'm going to get 3a square plus a minus 14, and that's equal to 0. So I will be getting, this is going to be 6 and 7. So 3a square plus 7a minus 6a minus 14, and that's equal to 0. So I'm going to take a common, 3a minus 3a plus 7. I'm going to take minus 2 common, 3a plus 7. That's equal to 0. So from here I can say that a minus 2 into 3a plus 7, and that's equal to 0. So what can be done? So a is equal to either 2 or minus 7 upon 3, right? So if a is equal to 2, then b is equal to 4, right? So basically if a is equal to 2, b is equal to 4, then 4 plus 2, 2a plus b. So 2a is 4 and b is also 4. So this value comes out to be 8. Now that is one way of doing it. Now what is the second way to solve this question? So I got a square. So if I'm going to solve this question in the exam, what is the first thing I'm going to see and what I'm going to think of? Okay. Now b square plus ab plus b, and that's equal to 28. Okay. Now there is possibility that a and b can both be odd, right? So if a is odd, b is odd. So this is going to be odd. Odd into odd is odd, and a is odd. So odd plus odd can never be even number. So it means this is not a case, right? Now what is the second scenario? Second scenario can be if one number is even, second number is odd. Okay. So this is going to be even. This is going to be a into b is even, and this is going to be even. So even plus even plus even can be even. But if this is odd, this is even, and this is odd. So odd plus even plus odd. So that can be a possible scenario, right? Okay. The third is both are even. So even plus even plus even is even. Even plus even plus even is going to be even. Now I can say that this value is not a huge value, right? 14 is not a huge number, right? So if I assume that a square is equal to 14, so the maximum value a can take is 3. Okay. B square is equal to 25, is equal to 28. The maximum value b can take is 5, right? And definitely b is going to be greater than a. Okay. and I know that one of the numbers should be even, right? So I'm going to start with, I put a is equal to 2. So this is going to be 4 plus 2 6, and 2 into what will satisfy the equation, so into 4. So 4 plus 8 plus 2 is equal to 14. Now b is 4 and a is 2. So 4 square is 16, to a into b is 8, this is 4. Does it satisfy? Yes. So I can say that a is directly 2, b is directly 4. So 2a plus b is going to be 8. So I can solve this question by this basic logic as well. This you can solve this question without using quadratic equation, just by using number system, basic concept of even or odd, and you can solve the question and get the answer easily. Okay, now anyone has any doubt, you can directly ask me the question. So if not, then I would wind up. And Fact Baba has asked that graduate in 2024, no works. Can I go for CAT 2025? Yes, you can definitely go for CAT 2025, and it is very much possible to get into IIM. It depends on your profile, that your 10% should be good, 12th should be good, graduation should be good. Work X will not make a huge difference. It makes a little difference, and your CAT percentile should be very good. You can definitely make it. So thank you